This video is brought to you by the Battle of the Gods playing cards, which just went live on Kickstarter. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video because this Kickstarter has one of the coolest things I've ever seen. The front of the tuck box has the 4 elements that you'll be seeing in this deck, which are wind, fire, land, and sea. On one side you have some Norse writing, on the other you get some Egyptian hieroglyphs. On the bottom you get some Celtic writing, and on top Greek writing. The back being extremely similar to the front but not identical, and a custom tuck seal. You do have a central flower on the large inside tuck flap and the same repeating M's logo on the smaller inside tuck flaps. But since that's all I can say for the tuck box, let's take a look at the cards inside. I mean, honestly, let's just talk about this back design. It's freaking cool. Clearly, it's just descending into the center. What I wish they would have done with that center rose looking part is I wish they would have made that red, simply because of the fact that they only pretty much have red and black, and it's mostly black and gray with a ton of red pop. So I think that would have been really cool. But honestly, looking at this deck and doing cardistry with this has been really fun. But I do really wish that the border would have been a little bit thinner to make those moves really pop. As you saw on the front of the tuck box, there are 4 different elements to this deck, and the spades get waves. The number cards are always going to be one-way design, so clearly there's an extra 7 down here, and there's only 1 spade pip. Up next you have diamonds, which is fire, followed by clubs, which is land, and hearts, which is air. When it says the Battle of the Gods, it is actually going to be 4 different mythologies. And this is really fun for me because I got really into things like Percy Jackson and Magnus Chase when I was little, so this is really fun. So for spades, you actually have the Norse gods, things like Thor. Then for diamonds, you get Egyptian gods. For clubs, you get Celtic gods. And for hearts, you get Greek gods. From least favorite to favorite, you have your 4 aces, which are clubs, hearts, diamonds, which I think is stupid cool, and of course, your ace of spades. One problem I had with this deck originally was the fact that the mythologies and the elements didn't really line up. I mean, I think they're both cool, but why do you have them both in there? Until I saw the jokers. Spades is both Norse mythology and waves, which is why they have a longboat as their joker. Diamonds is fire and Egypt, so they have the Sphinx and a pyramid. Clubs is both Celtic and land, so they have Stonehenge. And hearts is air and Greek, so they have Mount Olympus. Now before I tell you how well this deck fares and fans and everything else, I do want to let you know this is a hidden one-way back design. If you look at the upper left and bottom right corners, you'll see that there's one gray one that's farthest out. It is actually bigger on the one side and smaller on the other. You'll see that better when I riffle through and see that it looks like it's kind of glitching. Now from top to bottom, this deck fares extremely easily, and from bottom to top, extremely easily as well, and that's what happens when you print through United States Playing Cards Company. Now when it comes to the stock and feel of this deck, here's what I think. They printed on the premium paper from the United States Playing Cards Company, which is the thicker version of the two. But then when it comes to how it's going to feel in your hands, it feels extremely soft. There are some decks which are more buttery, some decks which are more snappy. Buttery decks are more used for things like that, which is called Under Pressure, and snappy decks are more used for things like Backdrop like that, which clearly this deck does great with both, whether it be packet cuts or any of those moves or springs as you saw earlier. But honestly, I really can't think of anything this deck can't do. It just, honestly, it's thick and it's soft and it just feels great. This deck of cards was created by a set of brothers, and unfortunately, just a few weeks ago, their dad passed away. Pretty consistently, their dad always donated to the George Adamson Wildlife Protection Fund. So in honor of their dad, they're actually going to be donating 5% of everything they earn there. So even if you're not trying to support like crazy just because you love the deck, which honestly you probably should anyways, as I've already shown you, that's just really freaking cool. Now, the Battle of the Gods playing cards has a funding goal of about $6,700. So if you want to support them, make sure to click the link in the description and on the pinned comment so you can pick up some of these bad boys for yourself. If you like the review of this deck of playing cards right here, one, make sure to go and pick them up for yourself because they're already over halfway funded. So you'd better pick them up before they're gone. And if you like deck reviews just like this one, make sure to subscribe because literally tomorrow I'm dropping another one on the new Virtuoso playing cards. So subscribe and ring the bell and I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is CPM signing off.